Thomas Tuchel fumes at officials and schedule after Brighton frustrate Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel fumed at the officials and the intense Premier League schedule after Chelsea were held to a 1-1 draw by Brighton at Stamford Bridge. The Champions League holders drew for the third time in 4 games on Wednesday night, with Danny Welbeck's injury-time header cancelling out Romelu Lukaku's first-half opener. With Manchester City beating Brentford 1-0 in the later kick-off, Tuchel's side are now 8 points adrift of the rampant Premier League leaders. Tuchel has slammed the Premier League schedule in recent weeks, with Chelsea playing 10 games in the space of 31 days despite the spread of COVID-19 in their squad. Speaking after the 1-1 draw with Brighton, Tuchel said, "A draw about right? Absolutely not. We had the better chances and a clear penalty. Very disappointing and very frustrating. We are struggling, but we have again 2 injured players. If the ref does not want to give a penalty when it is a clear 100% penalty. Everything against us. 100% it is a penalty. You ask the referee, not me. Our players are injured. I told you what would happen weeks ago. Same thoughts, I told you. Sure, we are tired. If you had been in bed for 10 days and played Premier League after that, you would be tired." On Sunday, Chelsea continue their Premier League campaign against Liverpool, who are 1 point behind the Blues with a game in hand. Thomas Tuchel provides Reece James injury update after Chelsea vs Brighton. Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel has provided an early update on Reece James' injury following the Blues' disappointing 1-1 draw with Brighton. Romelu Lukaku headed Chelsea ahead in the first half just minutes after James was withdrawn through injury, but Danny Welbeck's late equaliser saw the points shared. Speaking after the match, Tuchel revealed the extent of the injury. When asked about James via Prime Video Sport, Tuchel said, "There is no prognosis. It's a hamstring injury." The head coach cut questioning about the Englishman short in his television interview but went on to discuss the issue further with the press. As per Football London, Tuchel continued to discuss the injuries to James and Andreas Christensen. He said, "Hamstring injury for Reece James, back injury for Christensen. We knew before that this would be a tough match. I have not seen many teams play a nice game against them. We don't know what we can demand from players after ling injuries and COVID. I don't know what they are capable of doing." The injury for Reece James was a huge blow. With Chelsea facing Liverpool in just 4 days, James is likely to miss the top of the table clash, handing Chelsea a massive blow. With it being revealed earlier in the week that Ben Chilwell will miss the rest of the season, needing surgery on his ACL, Chelsea could now be without their right wing-back James too for a crucial run-in. Gus Poyet and Eniola Aluko criticise Callum Hudson-Odoi after Chelsea's draw with Brighton. Blues striker Romelu Lukaku put Chelsea ahead with a towering header at Stamford Bridge, and Hudson-Odoi had a glorious chance to put the game to bed in the second half. The England international was played through by Lukaku and was bearing down on goal with Mason Mount in support. Deciding not to shoot, Hudson-Odoi opted to pass to Mount, but his attempt was poor and comfortably intercepted by a Brighton defender. Graham Potter's Seagulls threatened Edouard Mendy's goal regularly in the second half and finally found an equaliser in injury time courtesy of Danny Welbeck. Chelsea's inability to double their lead was clearly a significant moment in the match, and both Poyet and Aluko criticised Hudson-Odoi for not converting his big chance. "At this level you've got to be better," former Chelsea forward Aluko told Amazon Prime. "It's a 2-to-1 situation, maybe he needs to release it quicker. But you've got to make that pass, you have to make that pass. That's the difference potentially between winning the game and getting a sickening equaliser at the end and drawing the game." Poyet added, "I'm surprised he needed to pass. It's not like he tried to pass over the defender or around him. He hit the defender straight away. That's very strange. Normally you miss that pass in behind because the other player is too far ahead of you or you try to play it too clever. He didn't do one or the other. He just hit the defender. Very strange." Cesar Azpilicueta, very close to leaving Chelsea for Barcelona next summer. Cesar Azpilicueta is on the verge of agreeing a deal to sign for Barcelona on a free transfer next summer, according to reports. The 32-year-old is out of contract at the end of the season and could leave Chelsea after 10 years following his £7 million switch from Marseille back in 2012. Azpilicueta has become a club legend following his time at Stamford Bridge. So far, he has played 449 times for the Blues, winning 2 Premier League titles, 2 Europa League titles, 1 FA Cup, 1 League Cup, 1 UEFA Super Cup, and the biggest one of them all, the UEFA Champions League. It's believed Chelsea want Azpilicueta to stay at the club and are willing to offer a further year beyond next summer, however the Spaniard wants more than a one-year contract extension. Barcelona have shown interest in the Chelsea skipper and as per Gerard Romero, he is now very close to agreeing a switch to the Camp Nou next summer. An agreement has been made in principle and only a few personal issues can change the course of a transfer at the end of the season. Should Azpilicueta leave, it will mean a new club captain will have to be named, as well as a new defender is likely to arrive through the doors in West London. Jules Koundé has been heavily linked. Head coach Thomas Tuchel has always been full of praise for his captain, and earlier in December wasn't concerned about his uncertain future in the capital. "I don't see any problem here," Tuchel told the official Chelsea website regarding his contract situation. "The situation between Azpi, me and the club is very clear. He is our captain. He has all possibilities to stay here as long as possible and become the legend he already is. He is a fantastic captain and a fantastic player." Chelsea prioritising Everton's Lucas Digne ahead of January transfer window. Chelsea are prioritising the signing of Everton defender Lucas Digne ahead of January's transfer window, according to reports. This comes after news broke that Ben Chilwell requires surgery on his ACL, ruling him out until the end of the season. As per L'Equipe via Get French Football News, Chelsea are prioritising the loan signing of Digne. Digne is destined to leave Everton in the upcoming January transfer window, following several disagreements he has had with manager Rafa Benitez since the start of the season. And with Chilwell out until the end of the season, Digne could come in on a 6-month loan deal to help Marcos Alonso with the workload on the left-hand side. With recent reports suggesting that Chelsea are interested in signing the Frenchman, it looks as though they will have a fight on their hands should they be eager to pursue their interest. Other clubs interested in Digne include Inter Milan and Napoli. Inter are wary of letting go either Maciej Vecino or Alexander Kolarov, meaning they may require some reinforcement on the left defensive flank. Napoli, on the other hand, are managed by Luciano Spalletti, who worked with Digne at Roma back in 2016, meaning the pair know each other well. It remains to be seen as to whether Chelsea will be able to secure the loan signature of Digne, but could instead pursue a permanent transfer, as this is what Everton would prefer for one of their highest paid players. John Terry returning to Chelsea in new year in academy coaching consultancy role. John Terry will return to Chelsea in a part-time academy coaching consultancy role next month, it has been confirmed. The former Chelsea captain will take up the new role in the academy, which will see him work with the younger players, delivering on-field coaching as well as coaching staff in the youth development program. Terry made 717 senior appearances for Chelsea, going on to win 5 Premier League titles and the Champions League. He will take up the part-time role, which offers beneficial flexibility for both parties, allowing Terry to continue to develop his own coaching skills alongside other commitments, while being used optimally within our development program. Terry took to social media on Wednesday morning to express his delight at returning to the club. "I'm delighted to announce that I'm coming home, and have taken up a consultancy role Chelsea Academy. As well as delivering on-field coaching sessions, I will be involved in coaching discussions and mentoring our academy players." Head of Youth Development Neil Barth told the official Chelsea website, "We are delighted to be welcoming John back to Cobham in a role that will involve coaching and mentoring the next generation of young players in our academy. It goes without saying that John's experience in the game, both as a world-class player and more recently as an assistant coach in the Premier League, will be invaluable for everyone in the building. He will be a great mentor for our players and a fantastic asset to our coaching staff. We can't wait for him to get started.
That is all just new today. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Goodbye and see you by tomorrow news.